Hello everyone, Ceri Griffiths here, or as you also know me, Ceri the Crafter. Now, myself and Paula, or Paula Keen in the Netherlands, are actually the organisers and the creator of the Colour Combo, which is a friendly activity that's launched once a month on a Facebook group called the Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists group. It's in the description box below if you want to join. Very supportive, very artistic group of members. You need to answer two questions again. You've heard me mention them before, so I'm not going to go in depth about that. Now, the colour combo, as I said, it's a fun activity. It's not a challenge. It's probably a challenge for me, but it's not meant to be a challenge. It's meant to be a fun activity. And but in a nutshell, basically each month, myself and Paola will actually announce three colours, which are the core colours of the colour combo. Besides that, you're allowed to use black, white and a metallic. Now you can use those or you can choose not to use them. You don't have to use the black and the white as colours or absence of colours as they should be as far as light goes, but you could use the black and the white to maybe change colours in shade or tone or tint, or you get where I'm going with that. And I probably used the word tone and I should have just said shade or tint, but you understand. Now, these colour combinations are actually generated by our subscribers, our followers, our friends. Paola and I do not make these up. They come to us as requests. Although what Paola and I will do is we will tweak things slightly. So say the colour green has come up for the last maybe 2 months and it comes up for the third month. Instead of being a generic green, we may go, right, this month it's going to be phthalo green or olive green or spring green, or do you get what I mean? We change it slightly. So blue comes up quite often. So blue will come up and we'll go, right, this time it's primary blue, maybe it's sky blue next time, maybe it, do you see where we're, so we tweak things ever so slightly just because we want it to be kept interesting and we want those participating to have fun, challenging themselves to think outside the box as far as how they use these colours and what they use them on. Now, I very often will use them with acrylic paints, usually in gel printing or maybe a project I'm doing with those colours involved, like maybe a journal or maybe an accordion book, but they can be done in fabrics, ceramics, pottery, glass, metallics, whatever medium you choose to do them. We've kept it really loose. There are no colour combo police. No one's going to come knocking at your door going, I said blue and you use teal. No, it won't happen to you. It's just something that's a fun activity. Now, we launched the June colours, it's the 4th today, yes, this 4th today. I should have filmed this yesterday, but my neighbour's having work done, so I didn't think you'd enjoy the sound of pneumatic drills going, so I've delayed filming to today, and this has to launch in about 2 hours, so let's get a jiffy on this one, shall we? The colour combo came out this month, and one of the colours on it was indigo blue, or indigo as I should call it. Now, not generated by Paola and myself, it was actually a requested colour, so we can't be held to blame for that. However, the word indigo has brought up so many questions that I thought, right, let's address them now. First of all, and this is all from my own knowledge, I cannot guarantee everything I'm going to say is 100% true, so please don't go after me if I get some details wrong. I believe indigo originally is generated from a plant-based material, that colour group. Also, due to the process of making indigo a colour, it varies considerably. Like if you just put in the colour indigo into a search engine or maybe into Pinterest or something, you will get everything from a deep purple to, a deep blue to a purple blue to a pink blue. There's a range of colours that come under it. Although for me personally here, I would say my Wrangler denim jacket, which I love to death, is indigo blue. The original colour of jeans, as in denim, in my opinion, is what I think of as indigo blue. So a lot of people said, I don't want to buy it, can I make it? Yes, you can. But therein lays another problem, so I need to reach that. So I thought, right, let's address that now. Now, for me personally, if I was making indigo, I would use blue and I would add black to it. However, I've seen quite a few people saying, well, you can add violet to it. And then someone actually suggested 4 parts blue, 1 part violet. And I went, you know what? There's a video in this. And I was going to put this as part of my own colour combo video this month. And I thought, no, because this is probably going to take 15 or 20 minutes to do. I don't want to cut that off my producing time for my video on the colour combo, which is probably going to be the next video that launches anyway. So, had to challenge myself. So I went out to my art supplies and I bought indigo. We're not going to talk about how much this tube of paint costs, okay guys? It was the only paint I could find that's acrylic that had the word indigo on it. So I'm going to use this as my control colour. So this is what I'm going to try to aim to match. I then went out and I made sure I had primary blue, because there are so many blues out there. I thought, right, let's go back to my colour wheel theory and think primary colour blue. So this is primary blue, okay? I would say it's probably an ultramarine blue to me, but that's just plucking that word out there because that's what that reminds me of. As far as black goes, I'm just using regular Mars black. And as far as purple goes, this I've lost the label off this, I decanted this, but this in my opinion is a violet, okay? When I squeeze it out the bottle, it actually looks darker this, so I think we're okay with that. So what I intend to do in this video, and the reason we're doing face-to-face is because otherwise this length of time, which is about 6.5 minutes, you'd just be looking at my hands doing this on screen if it didn't do face-to-face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test or swatch the control, which is the indigo color, and then I'm going to try combining blue and black to get what I would think would be the indigo that I personally would have made. And then I'm going to do one more test, which would be the 4 parts to 1 part blue to violet, and see where that puts me in that pitch as well. So if that interests you, hang around. We're going to flip the camera over. If it doesn't interest you, thank you for staying with me this long. I'm not going to speed anything up. We're going to do it in real time and see if I can do it. Okay, see you on the flip side, guys. So here we are. Right. So I've got 3 pieces of card, 1 for my control, 1 for the blue-black, and 1 for the blue-violet mix. I've got out 2 ceramic tiles, which I use as mixing palettes. I'm using these separately so I don't contaminate either one. And I've got 2 different palette knives. So basically, I'm trying to keep the colours as far away from each other as possible. I've also got a small container of water here so I can rinse a brush out, or a palette knife, or whatever I'm using, I can keep clean. Now, I think first of all, we need to do our control. I've already put water on that, but that doesn't matter. So move that up there. So let's see. Right, the indigo colour. Now this is heavy bodied, so it's going to need some spreading around, or at least some painting. So let's put that to one side. So as you can see, before we even get out of the gate, it's a really dark colour. Now I've chosen a grey background and I'm filming in natural light, so I'm hoping that means that our colours are going to be as close to perfect as I can get. So I'm going to spread this around a bit. So as you can see, that's kind of where it's at. Let's get this palette knife wiped off again. Right, clean palette knife. And I'm also going to take a brush with water on and brush some of it out, because that will actually change the opacity as well, just so I know roughly what I'm looking at. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the colour I was expecting to see. Okay, so that's what we're aiming for. So let's first of all start out with, let's put that to one side. We'll visit that often. Let's first of all do the blue-black one, because that's the one I'm assuming is the one that would normally work for me. So I'm going to bring in this blue. I've never bought paint in a pouch before. I think after filming, this is going to get decanted into a bottle, because I'm not going to love, I can't imagine me dealing with a pouch. It just, I can find this would be really frustrating. So that's just me. Now, black. Now, I think I want to put a tiny little bit. Now, I know I'm only going to need the tiniest bit of black, because black is one of those paints that travels. Okay, so I've got primary blue and black. So I'm going to take tiny little bit and I'm going to start mixing. Now I've chosen a white tile so I can actually see, now that's actually turning already to a nice enough colour. I'm going to add a little bit more black. I would always say add the black to the blue, not the blue to the black, because you will be there for absolutely ever. I think we're getting there. Now, don't be deceived by the colour you're seeing on the tile in the background. Obviously, it's where it's changing slightly. And being fully mixed. I think it's time to do a little bit of a test on our blue-black. I'm not saying we've got it right straight away. Let's add a little bit of water onto that and see where we're at. Right, that's quite a greeny colour. Right. So as we can see, I need to amp the black up a bit on that one. So a bit more. Now, black for me, if you water black down, very often you'll get a greenish shade, which is where I think that's coming from. So I've chosen Mars Black because there isn't such a colour as a primary black. A black is made up of other colours. So as we all know. Right, let's see if that's changed that up slightly. It could be that I can't achieve what I want perfectly with the colours I've got. It's getting there, but it's like, right, let's be really brave and put all of that black in there that I put out. And this is why I would only ever, if you're mixing stuff like this, guys, make a note roughly of the proportions you're using, because you never know, you may want to make that colour again in the future, and it'll save you wasting paint. Not this going to be wasted. This will all go into my dump journal when it's finished. Right, I think we're going to, whatever this colour is, it's going to be the colour I'm going to call done. Okay, it's quite dark. Probably could have done with another piece of card. Let's see if I can go get one. Right, a fresh piece of card. Let's because I'm getting a bit messed up with that one. I'm beginning to not see where the actual colour is. Right, so it is a dark to start. It is quite a green. I can see green within this. So I'm going to bring in water just to thin it down a bit, because I want to see what it looks like when it thins out as well. Okay, there's very much a difference between indigo with black in it, because it has that greenish, to indigo as it is out the tube. I would accept that as indigo though, because as I said, there is a wide variety of what indigo is defined as. So let's just put those to one side, so I'm going to stick my finger in them. Let's leave that to one side while see it dries. That can go over to be sorted out in a little bit. Let's have a little bit of cleanup before we start on our next one. I'll just clean my old brush off. Right. Oh, now I'm getting black everywhere. This is the trouble using black. Black travels. Right. So, out the way, let's go to the blue-violet. Now, I'm thinking if I'm adding violet to it, that's going to be more the purpley blue when it comes through. It makes sense to me. Right, so we're going back to our primary blue, and it does say primary blue there, so I haven't made it up. It is actually primary blue. Now, they said 4 parts blue to 1 part purple, violet. So this is in a squeezy bottle. So this is total guesstimation, guys. It probably needs a little bit more than that. Right, this is going to be very much flipping back and forth. I'm going to try and make that. I think if I was looking at that, that's probably not far off 4-1. Let's just see how this goes. Already I'm feeling the purple isn't strong enough. I mean, that's still blue as far as I'm concerned. Right, I need more purple, or more violet, as I should say. Now, it could also be dependent on, this is a fluid, not a soft body, whichever you, it's certainly not a heavy bodied. The blue also isn't a heavy bodied, but it's heavier than the purple, than the violet. Okay, we're kind of getting there. I'm thinking it's probably almost a 2-to-1 ratio with the paints and the colours I'm using. Right. I also am thinking that it's likely that I need to add black to this to take it down a notch. So, and guys, I'm not qualified in any way to be doing this. I'm not an art student. I'm not an art teacher. I've never had art lessons except in my school. So when you watch this video, please take it with a pinch of salt. I'm just a guy having a bit of an experiment. Right, this doesn't look anywhere near what I want. I mean, it's a dark blue. It's not the blue that this is, though. I think, using my gut instinct, this recipe needs black. So guess what? We're playing. I'm going to have an experiment. A little bit of black. Now, we know black goes a long way, so I've probably done overkill on that. So let's see if I can park some of it up there so I don't mix it all in. Yeah, it was quite tricky when I was looking up this colour on the internet because I thought indigo was just one colour. And it seems that there are so many variants, like location in the world where it was made, to length of time, part of the heat process. It's just, there's so many things. Actually, I'm liking that colour already. Right, let's come in with this. From the bottom, that already looks a lot better to me. I'd say we've done it. I'll just brush that out a little bit thinner so we can. Let's get another piece. I want a clean sample. Sorry, I just wanted to see it away from the other colour because I didn't want it to be contaminated. Let's see, I'll thin it out a little bit. I think that's actually more indigo than the control is indigo. I think that's it. Okay, so just let's see if I can work this out. I did 4 parts primary blue to basically, let's see, sorry, it was 2-to-1, wasn't it? So it's 4 parts primary blue, 2 parts violet, and I would say less than a part of black. The black was the one I didn't really measure. So if I had 4 parts primary blue, 2 parts violet, and then probably half a part. You saw how much it was. It was just a little tiny bit on the edge that I mixed in that gives me this. I think I'm going to call that a success. Okay, so for me personally, violet, primary blue and Mars black are what gave me as close to that as possible. And for me, that's near a perfect match. But if I was to be honest, I would say this is more indigo in my mind than that is. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I'll say that out of the way before I get that all over everything. Hopefully you enjoyed that, guys. It was purely an experiment. I just wanted to see whether I could do it. And that's drying so much greener, and I think the green is from the black. So hopefully that was an interesting video for you guys. As I said, it was just a bit of an explanation. That's how I would have made it. Well, that's how I did make it, and that's how I'm going to be using it in the future. It was just, I bought the control because I needed to know what the industry would have considered an indigo. Whereas for me, that was indigo anyway, and I think that's as close as can be. But be prepared when you do a search to find many, many variations. So for me, I'm Ceri the Crafter. That's Ceri the Crafter. Until next time, goodbye, guys.